Hello and welcome to Falcon Flashback as we go back in time. And a couple of years ago, when men's volleyball was taking on 13th ranked MSOE, the date being February 6th of 2019, all as we count down the return of Falcon Athletics. Matt Menzel alongside the men's volleyball head coach Curtis Matson. And man, what a date that was. The second year program in action inside the John Book Fieldhouse. And coach, for those that maybe don't follow the men's volleyball team as closely or know the conference as well, facing ranked opponents seems like it's a weekly thing, especially in the NAC.
Yeah, in the neck, it's what we do almost every night. At that time, there were 7 teams in the conference, and we were running through 2 to 3 in the top 15 at all time. Just like last year, we had 11 in the conference, and we had at some point 4 different teams out of the top 15. So yeah, it's kind of an everyday occurrence for our guys, and that's what we look forward to. What we're doing here.
Obviously, the hope going in every match is you come away with a victory. But do you remember kind of what you're thinking, what you were, I guess, preparing for in referencing MSOE?
Well, what we were referencing, what we were preparing for was a lot different than what they threw at us. We spent a lot of time getting ready for that starting lineup. Quinn Krizik, who was one of the top players that have went through MSU's program at the time, was returning All-American, went on his way to being an All-American again, if I remember correctly. So we're making some preparations for that, and you know. We also weren't prepared for the fact that MSU had a pretty tough schedule going forward with a couple ranked opponents that weekend. And so it was actually an interesting match in the sense that our scouting reports went out the window once the match started because MSU was trying to do some stuff with their lineups to prepare themselves for the week. And, we were a second-year program, not coming off the most successful thing. I can't say that I fault Coach Reed for that thought. It's easy to fall in that trap. We just, once we saw the lineup, we said, hey, let's go give them our best shot and let's compete. And our thing was we wanted to force them to put their starting lineup in by the end and earn some respect, earn those steps in conference. And next thing you know, we were sitting in a fifth set up 2-0 and in that set and rolling on to a 15-11 victory, if I remember correctly.
Well, and I was going to ask you, I mean, when you saw the lineup out there and MSOE kind of mixing some things up a little bit, did you see a different look in your players' eyes as though maybe they're a little bit hungrier going, hey, wait a minute?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you look at our roster at the time and their roster at the time, we had a lot of Kenosha County area guys, and a lot of their guys from that area were getting an opportunity. So our guys almost seemed more hungry because instead of playing the team that their friends were on, they got to go play against their friends and their teammates, I think it got them a little more amped up. And I think some of our competitors took it as a slight a little bit, and it really wasn't. And I won't ever say that about what they were doing.
Sure.
But like from a competitive standpoint, they wanted their best. And so I think it pushed us a little bit to say, hey, let's make them give us their best and see where we are. So we kind of focused up and took care of business and kept taking those steps and went with it.
A couple of freshmen stepped up in a big way. James Altoff, look at his stat line, and he had 14 kills, 17 digs, 6 service aces, all part of what was a remarkable freshman campaign for James.
Correct. It was actually interesting. I was talking with our assistant coach, Evan Walsh, who at that time was actually playing at Carthage. He wasn't on our team, so he was watching scouting reports and through that. And what he didn't realize is in our set 2 victory and our set 4 victory, James closed both sets with a service ace, 2 of his 6. And then in opening the match, set 5, one of the adjustments we made was we actually flipped James to be our first server, where we typically kept James through the front row because of his offensive prowess. But when we realized, talking with Dylan, Coach Barry, was that James, one of James' most effective swings, especially through his freshman campaign, was his D-ball, his back row attack. So we weren't feeling we were giving up that much offense, and we wanted to put our best server back there to get things rolling. And in big moments, James had 3 of his 6 service aces in huge moments for us that propelled us forward into what ended up being the biggest victory we've had as a program.
And you look, too, for volleyball, obviously having a setter, strictly a setter, is enormous. And Connor Muff, your freshman setter, again, he was able to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, Connor did a great job spreading the ball around and getting us in opportunities to work. I mean, yeah, James had big numbers, but if you look at, I think it was late in set 5, big runs to the middle, something we pushed. Blake Schwank came up with 2 kills late there, past I think points 12. I think we scored points 11 and 13 on a middle kill. 13 and 14 on a middle kill, which is something we pushed on him and was a little outside of our typical comfort zone of what we did that year in our offense, but really went to it and kept with our scouting report and got us some points there. Made some heady plays there to keep us in it.
Some big wins during the second season for the program. And No question, when you have an inaugural season, there are going to be growing pains. How pleased are you with the progress this program has made from season 1 to season 2 to what we saw a little bit of a season 3?
We're headed in the right direction. Obviously, in a conference like the NAC for men's volleyball, our gains are not as easy to see because when you're running in and year out against top 20 teams in the country, we're not going to put up the gaudy win numbers. But if you really look at execution, you look at results, you look at what we do, we're heading in the right direction. We're getting the right types of recruits. We're getting the right types of guys. So it's all big building blocks. It's all those types of things that we were looking to get and gain from there. And I think that match was something that really helped us on the way. I mean, it showed to future recruits, future classes that, you know, yes, the win-loss numbers are what they are, but this program's on the right track. We were able to go toe-to-toe with one of the nation's top teams and take a match away. So I'm very pleased on where we are heading into year 4.
Hey, Andy, it's a signature victory against MSOE. They'd go on and qualify for the NCAA tournament a couple of months later. I guess it's overall, when you, again, reflect back on that match when it came to a close, I guess what was your initial reaction when you look up the scoreboard and realize, hey, Concordia is a 3-2 match victor?
I mean, there's obviously just the happiness because it was the first ever NAC win for us, first ever top 15 win for us. But aside from that, the coaching brain kicked in. And if we remember exactly about that year, we had 7 teams in the conference. 8 teams in the conference, but only 7 could qualify for the postseason with Benedictine on their comeback from the D2D thing. And I looked at Dylan Berry just before we went to the handshake line. I said, we just qualified for the conference tournament. Because if you think about how NAC tiebreakers went, we just had to split with the 2 teams on the bottom because of the tiebreaker. That gave us the tiebreaker over anyone we'd be tied with. So we immediately said we just have to take care of the business we thought we were going to take care of, and that question on if we were getting in was answered. We had that ace in our pocket all the way up because that's a big win that we didn't have. And then after we had that conversation, we went back to enjoying it. But that immediate coaching mind of, hey, we can do this. Year 2, we can get in the conference tournament in one of the toughest conferences in the country to kind of show where we are and work through it. And so it was a huge win on multiple levels that we came right out of the gate going 1-0 in conference, and we were in the driver's seat for what we were trying to do. I mean, realistically, we knew we weren't going to be the conference champions that year. Our goal was to get to that tournament. And we put ourselves in the driver's seat. We took a match we weren't supposed to on paper, and that was the huge thing that we looked at our guys and said, hey, man, that's a great job. Now we just take care of business, and we've set up our season to be successful.
All right, so it's time to jump into the hot tub time machine. We go back to February 6th of 2019. Inside the John Book Fieldhouse, the Falcons and the 13th ranked MSOE Raiders. So we're just about set to get this one underway. And for the Falcons, trying to knock off MSOE for the first time in 3 tries. Connor Muff will get set one underway. And here we go. Return made that time by Lucas Miller. Muff on back with James Altoff, and the Falcons striking first. So right now Lucas Miller out there in the setter role. 6'2 freshman from Beach Park, Illinois. Muff with a 6 service ace performance against Hiram. Now with a service error. For the Falcons against Maranatha, a total of 7 service aces, 10 service errors. Muff and Sam Rovick each had a couple of service aces in that sweep. Lucas Miller. Now set up by Muff. Out of the back row, that with Isaac Glenn, the lefty. MSOE connected with Jake Christensen. Christensen, a 6', 385-pound junior out of Kenosha. 4th in the team last year in kills. 10-plus kills, 7 separate occasions. He, too, is among those trying to help fill a void. He comes in number 3 on the team in kills per set. Both teams trade off a couple of service errors. Ball now in the hands of Sam Rovick. Rovick playing his 102nd consecutive set, 34th career match. He goes long. MSOE back up 3-2. There's Jake Christensen. Had a 4 service ace performance against UC Santa Cruz. Also 8 service errors in that matchup. 5-set win for MSOE. Santa Cruz was number 9 in the nation at the time, and down 2-0. MSOE bounced back to win 5. Now for the Falcons, Shabaka. And Cody Shabaka just over the top tape. The set by Lucas Miller. Out of the outside with Josh Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt on the MSOE kill. The freshman from Beloit. His father, MSOE men's volleyball coach back in 2003. And this is a program that dates back to 2001. Certainly the history, the tradition, the experience compared to a number of programs in and around the area that are still relatively new. Nice block in front, Blake Swat. He was one of the top block getters during the inaugural Falcon campaign. Led the team in blocks last year 18 times, 3 times so far this season, but also has been a bigger factor in the attack. 4-4 here in set 1. Miller off the setup. That was Austin Bella on this right side. Bella over the block, played by Altoff. Muff, Altoff, block was ready. And the combination of Kleinschmidt and Jacob Cerny going airborne. Early on, we have not seen Quinn Krisick. We'll see how the Raiders approach this, because certainly last year when these two teams got together, a number of the starters did not see any playing time. A number of the younger players saw significant playing time. So when we talk about MSOE losing a number of their key athletes from their attack, Falcons never saw those players in live match action. This lineup out there is, or could potentially be out there, remember the guys the Falcons did see on a regular basis last year. There's Lucas Miller on the block. MSOE now leading 7-4. Austin Bella, freshman out of Kaukauna and the Galloping Ghosts, a strong high school program in northeast Wisconsin. Service error. Isaac Glenn will take over for the Falcons. Already service errors, 2 against MSOE, 2 against the Falcons. Make it a 3rd now against MSOE with that latest. Miller out of the back with Bella. MSOE gets the point. Ball now in the hands of Josh Kleinschmidt. Had a nice performance a week and a half ago against Culver Stockton when he came through with 10 kills. Off his jump serve, Glenn out of bounds. Raiders lead by 4 at 9-5. Serve continues here for Kleinschmidt. Off the right hand. That goes long. That's the 4th service error on the Raiders. And for the Falcons, Ryan Hafes will sub in. One of the serve specialists for Concordia, freshman out of Greendale. Volleyball, tennis, baseball athlete. His time at Greendale High School. Hafes. Lucas Miller down the middle. And Jacob Cerny does not make many mistakes. He comes in 2nd in the conference, 9th in the nation with a .467 hitting percentage. Now for the Falcons, Turner Fear back out there. He is sporting the libero jersey. Miller, tough setup there, but off the battle at the netting with Lucas Miller. Outside Altoff. Miller found that gap between the front and back row. The setter coming through with some offense. And a timeout for Curtis Matson and the Falcons. Coach Matson back for his 2nd season at the helm. Falcons down 11-6. For MSOE already a number of players involved, but a different look to the lineup with Austin Bella, Jake Christensen, Josh Kleinschmidt, Lucas Miller, Brian Jones, and Jacob Cerny. Part of the starting lineup, Danny Martins, who was the NAC Defensive Player of the Year, coming off the bench. Haven't seen their all-everything setter and Quinn Krisick just yet. And Krisick with a couple of triple doubles in the team's now first 6 matchups. He has 3 out of the 4 in the program's history. But a nice addition and trying to help fill that void with the loss of Andrew Miller. And again, Krisick not in any time to knock off the rust. He essentially picked up where he left off from back in 2017. Only matchup around the conference tonight. The conference, as mentioned, expected to see Dominican finish number 1. Falcons will visit the Stars coming up on Friday at 5 p.m. But Dominican off to a 4-1 start last year. They tied for first with Benedictine, both at 10-2 in league play. And then Dominican beat Benedictine in the tournament final before the Stars lost in an NCAA tournament semifinal from Kenosha against Stevens in 5. Stevens had lost for the national championship to Springfield. Jacob Cerny popped over. And Christensen. So out of the timeout, the kill for Jake Christensen. He's had 10-plus kills on a couple of different occasions, which actually came in the first 2 matches of the year. Cerny. And Sam Rovik. Rovik, one of the returnees from last year, number 2 on the team at 2.4 kills per set. Sophomore from Silver Lake, Wisconsin. Of the team last year in kills 17 times, 1 time so far this year. But he's been in double figures for kills twice. Falcons commit their 3rd service error. Lucas Miller dropping back for MSOE. Miller playing in his 3rd match. He has now played back-to-back. Falcons get the side out. And now Sam Rovik behind the Falcon service line, down 13-8. Now certainly a different talent level as far as opponent goes, but for the Falcons we saw a slow start Friday, and after an early timeout, bounced back and really never looked back the rest of the way. Well, Concordia scored back-to-back here. But against Maranatha, 6 ties, 3 lead changes. 5 of those ties, all 3 lead changes came in set number 1. Otherwise, the Falcons were able to put their foot on the pedal and never let up. Right now trying to correct the service. Both teams now with service errors of 4. Jake Christensen. He delivers a service ace, that being the 2nd for MSOE. Austin Bella with the other. Jake Christensen, number 3 on the team, now with 8 service aces. Again, they come in number 1 in the conference with 46 collectively. And now delivering another. Found that far back corner. Back-to-back aces for Jake Christensen. His high is 4, also with 3 at Quincy. Three in a row. And Jake Christensen putting on a clinic. Timeout for Coach Matson. 3 consecutive service aces for Jake Christensen. 4 now for MSOE in this first set. They open up a 17-9 set 1 advantage. MSOE back on January 27th against Culver Stockton had 3 service aces. They had 9, gave up 3. 9. 4 of those belong to Quinn Chrisick, who had to play. Another 2 for Brian Jones, another 2 for Austin Bella, and then Kelvin Fellows had 1. But with the service aces come service errors. 9 service aces, 26 errors. Culver Stockton had 3 aces with 11 errors throughout the course of that 4-set matchup. So 4 aces, 4 errors for MSOE, and following the second and final Falcon timeout here in the first set, Christensen will continue with his team up 17-9. See Danny Martin's out there. D3 preseason All-American selection, that courtesy of Off the Block, the online publication, offtheblockblog.com. Last year, AVCA first team All-American, on top being the Conference Defensive Player of the Year and a first team All-Conference honoree. Trying to sway momentum from 3 service aces to a service error. Blake Swant back into the front row. Off goes Fier. Cody Shabaka out of Henderson, Nevada. He's had service aces in 3 out of his last now 6 matchups. That was pushed over by Brian Jones. Jones, a senior middle blocker from Appleton North. They too with a strong high school program. Typically Appleton North, Kaukauna battling annually along with perhaps Kimberly for a conference championship. Jones. Set up by Miller. Off the right hand by Austin Bella. His cross-court shot out of bounds. Here's James Altoff. He's been strong in a number of areas, including the serve. Altoff with Miller going outside. Kleinschmidt. Make it 19-11, MSOE up by 8. Bella. Muff. Glenn off the left hand going cross court to Martins. Almost stepping over the center line to Josh Kleinschmidt, and the MSOE return beyond the end line. Kleinschmidt nearly crossing that center tape. Isaac Glenn. And the sophomore, Lucas Miller. That's Austin Bella. Testing the near sideline. 8-point lead for MSOE. Their head coach, Shane Reed, back for his 4th year. 6th head coach now in program history, looks on. Kleinschmidt. And Muff, Swat on the kill. What a performance he was able to put together on Friday, in which Blake Swat, 8 kills, 0 errors, 11 total swings. Hit .727 at a program record, nearly a NAC record. The NAC record is .750, set by 4 players last year. But an oddity for Swat in the sense that no blocks, added 1 dig. And his focus was at the net, delivering kills. He's now number 4 on the team in that area. Ryan Hafes. Lucas Miller. That was Kleinschmidt. That's Rovic on back with Martins. Miller with Christensen. Deflects out. Back to 7 goes the MSOE lead. Ryan Hafes will sub out. Back in Blake Swat. He's playing in his 33rd career match along with Rovic. Only 2 that have played every match in program history so far. Fiore, he's going to be called for double hit. Jacob Cerny, freshman from Brookfield East. Muff, Glenn, block ready, Brian Jones. Against Culver Stockton. Brian Jones, enormous. He played 4 sets, 4 kills, couple of services, but he also had 4 total blocks. Time to jump perfectly, now a service ace. This one for Jacob Cerny. It is service ace number 5 for MSOE. 3 for Christensen, 1 for Bella, 1 for Cerny. He'll get another. Grazed off a Falcon, and that will do it for set 1. MSOE takes a 25-14 back-to-back services, put an end to the first set. A total of 6 services in the set for MSOE. Up 1 set to none. Set 2 comes your way next. You're tuning in to Falcon Men's Volleyball on the Falcon Athletic Network.
You have 33 years of memories in this house, the most valuable things you will ever own. And that is why we exist.
On to set number 2 here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. MSOE up 1-0. They win the first set 25-14 on the strength of their service ability and coming through with 6 service aces, 5 service errors. Falcons without a service ace with 4 errors, and for MSOE, 3 aces for Jake Christensen. In fact, he had 3 consecutive. Also, a couple of service aces for Jacob Cerny and 1 for Austin Bella. 3 kills for Jake Christensen, 2 for Bella, 2 for Kleinschmidt, 1 for Miller, 1 for Jones, 1 for Cerny, among the players who have played so far for Coach Reed. 9 assists for Lucas Miller, 3 digs for Danny Martins, and then 8 total block for Lucas Miller, Brian Jones, and Jacob Cerny. MSOE up 2-1 in blocks. MSOE right now hitting .286, Falcons hitting .059. They've gotten 2 kills from James Altoff, 4 total attempts. A kill for Sam Rovick, 1 for Isaac Glenn, 1 for Blake Swant. 5 assists for Connor Muff. 4 digs, James Altoff, and the block assist for Isaac Glenn and Blake Swant. So right now trying to recover. And it starts with the serve-receive. Coming into the matchup, the Falcons have allowed a total of 18 services while recording 36 of their own, so that hasn't necessarily been an issue. MSOE, though, as mentioned, among the who's who. First in the conference in total service aces, number 2 in the conference in service aces per set. And we still haven't seen our player to watch in Quinn Krissick. And we mentioned some teams, they have a busy schedule. They feel like they have the ability to take care of business. MSOE certainly feeling that they will be able to take care of business without much trouble here tonight, electing to test out their strength a little bit and get some of the younger players more experience and playing time. We'll see that changes as we go along, but get Lucas Miller more playing time at the setter role. He's only played in 2 matches. He played 1 set against UC Santa Cruz back on January 18th, and then he played a couple of sets on January 27th at Culver Stockton. We're going to see Nathan Mason come in. Still haven't seen Quinn Krissick. Daniel Drag will be the libero, so perhaps the night done already for Danny Martins, the first-team All-American from last year. Brian Jones, part of that lineup with Josh Kleinschmidt. Griffin Dunn for the first time, and he is number 1 on the team at 3.3 kills per set. Griffin Dunn, who showed some potential limited action last year at a couple of nice matches against the Falcons. Expect to see Luke Carpenter at some point. He's a sophomore, he's at the play, so getting everybody a little bit of playing time. Here in this one is Kelvin Fellows for the first time will serve up set number 2. Freshman from Shorewood, Illinois. And starts things off with an error. Falcons have gone with their same lineup. And now James Altoff. He had 3 services against St. John Fisher. Set up here by Fellows. That's Nathan Mason. Tied at 1. So Kelvin Fellows taking over the setting role, that from Lucas Miller. Perhaps we'll see Krissick by set 3. But Fellows has only played 1 match, 1 set, and that came a week and a half ago against Culver Stockton. Block ready, and that's Nathan Mason. He's playing in his 4th match, his 4th set. Now Josh Kleinschmidt. We're expecting to see a good number of the 17 of the active roster. For the Falcons, Isaac Glenn. Last year was an assist getter. This year focusing on that right side, outside. Premature movement by the MSOE lineup. And the Falcons now with a 3-2 lead. That first set featuring 4 ties, 1 lead change. Glenn. He takes his time. Out of the back with Kleinschmidt. Glenn, Muff, Rolvik. Set up here by Fellows. A little bit off balance. Griffin Dunn. Mentioned showing some potential last year and hoping that he will continue to take big steps here this season. See Luke Carpenter in. And now the serve for Brian Jones. But Dunn, 14 sets, 8 matches played last year. 1.43 kills per set. Average at about 250. Rolvik. That was off of Mason, then off of Fellows. For the Falcons, Shabaka is back in. Same thing with Ryan Hapes, who's going to be serving. 5 freshmen this year. Falcons bringing back 8 of 13 who played during last year's winless inaugural season. Big setup for Luke Carpenter. He's had 3 kills in back-to-back matches. Last year had 4 kills, 4 blocks in a matchup against the Falcons. And those were a couple of sweeps. Last February and last March 2nd for MSOE. 8th service error against the Raiders. Now Connor Muff. At least 2 service aces in each match but Friday. Number 1 on the team, 5th in the conference. Fellows. That was done. Nice save. Muff's on the return. That was Muff out of the back row, but then the end result out of the reach of Connor Muff. But he came in 5th in the conference, 0.6 service aces per set. Dunn. Playing his 3rd match this year. He's also played against Lancaster Bible and against Culver Stockton. Against Culver Stockton, MSOE, played 15. Luke Carpenter puts the Raiders up 6-5. Busy day, though, on January 27th for MSOE. Started off in Illinois and made their way to Missouri to play a couple of matchups. Against Quincy, up 1-0 and kind of falling behind 2-1, forced the 5th set. Against Culver Stockton, quick start, but then lost set 3 to eventually win it in 4. Rolvik. Fellows. Battle at the net. As drag. Over with Kleinschmidt, and the Falcons ready for it. And Althoff and Shabaka in front. Trying to get that block going. That has been a strength of the Falcons early on this season. 2nd in total blocks, 3rd in the conference, and 22nd in the nation in blocks per set. Fellows. Missed time jump and over the reach of Kleinschmidt. Falcons up 8-6. Sam Rolvik. Ready in front, off the block. That deflects out. Boy, MSOE going with a different lineup, and they've looked like it. Some of these guys stood the entire first set, now being thrown out there in match action, and the Falcons are taking advantage. Rolvik. That will be the Falcons' 5th service error. Brian Jones back in. Here's Luke Carpenter from Westerville, Ohio. Sophomore, too much on his serve. 10 service errors now against MSOE. Just on the serve alone, there have been a total of 14 errors combined. That, again, a little more common, normal, some of those higher totals in the men's game. Swats it out. Nice setup there for Blake Swamp, but a little too much 8 kills on Friday, as high as previous high had been 6. Saw that back row wide open. Kelvin Fellows. Muff. Again, set up for Swant by the diving Kelvin Fellows. Nice adjustment there by Blake Swant. This time left a little off. Different result. Falcons up by 3. Althoff. Muff. Glenn. And drag going over with Kleinschmidt. He's out of bounds. Rough second set right now for MSOE. Even despite the fact they're hitting about, give or take, 364 for the set. Falcons benefiting from a couple of mistakes. In this case, Glenn, perfectly timed jump, protecting the net. And a timeout here for the Raiders. Falcons up 5, 13-8 here in set number 2. Looking to even things up after MSOE in convincing fashion took set 1, 25-14. And MSOE 7-0 in sets so far all time versus Concordia, Wisconsin. Well, this year in NAC men's volleyball, Dominican, they're the team to beat, as mentioned. Benedictine predicted 2nd. MSOE 3rd. Marion 4th. Aurora and Lakeland each predicted to finish in 5th. Aurora off to an 0-5 start. Illinois Tech, one of a couple of new schools to the conference field, predicted 7th. They're off to an 0-4 start. Falcons predicted 8th at 4-2, and then Concordia Chicago in 9th. Right now, Concordia Chicago is 4-0. Only team without a loss. You have Marion and Aurora along with Illinois Tech without a victory. And Benedictine with the most wins. They have 5. They were supposed to play a big one last night home against North Central because of an ice storm down in the Chicagoland area. The match postponed until February 15th. Benedictine will then host Lakeland all on the same night, but Benedictine ranked 9th in the nation right now. North Central ranked 8th. Big Knot Conference matchup there. Out of the timeout, James Althoff. 5-point Falcon lead, hitting 222 in the set. MSOE down to 250. Fellows. Kleinschmidt going cross court. Muff, Glenn. Drag for the back row. Muff with Blake Swant. Swant again. Kleinschmidt looking for a save. Nice save there by Fellows, and the return by Kleinschmidt. Tipped. Falcons score another. 14-8. Falcons up by 6. Althoff. Service ace. Second for the Falcons. Both have occurred here in this second set. Glenn and Althoff with the 2 service aces. Looking for more. Kleinschmidt got a piece of it, and it was tipped in front by Isaac Glenn. Right now, the Falcons just roll it. MSOE with a makeshift lineup. They have mixed and matched their lineup here in this second set from what they're accustomed to and what they showed in set 1. And right now, it's paying off for the Falcons. Kleinschmidt. And Kleinschmidt comes through with a service ace. 16-10. Falcons plus 6. I don't think anybody predicted MSOE would go with a different looking lineup than what they typically go with, and not, at least to date, playing Quinn Krisick. Right now, that's backfiring. Falcons are on the verge of tying things up at a set. MSOE has not been able to string together points. Isaac Glenn. Return made by Fior. On the setup by Fellows. Onto the outside. Muff following the save by Althoff. And a double hit here against Concordia. Luke Carpenter back in, replacing Drag. And now Brian Jones. Already 12 have played for MSOE. They're back to within 5. Brian Jones. 4th match that he's appeared in. Muff. Rolvik. Net violation here against MSOE. And Drag will sub back in. And take the spot of Brian Jones. You see Ryan Hafes back in for the Falcons, who lead 18-12. Trying to beat MSOE in a set for the first time in 8 tries. That's going to be a double hit. That's going to go against Kelvin Fellows. Ryan Hafes. Falcons up to 357 after the hit, 0-59 in that first set. Question now becomes for MSOE, can they string some points together? Because they've not been able to yet. They've had some nice moments here, but it's been followed up by errors. Nathan Mason. Muff. Another point for the Falcons. Up 20-13. Falcons even this one up. Be interesting to see how MSOE approaches set number 3, because again, they still have not played a number of their regulars. Danny Martins played a little bit in that first set. Saw a little bit of Griffin Dunn. Have not seen Ben Pung or Krisick. Well, Luke Carpenter on the windup. Down 6. Here's Griffin Dunn. And he's played in both sets. Only played a couple of matchups. 3 sets prior to get his average to 3.3 kills. Rolvik, 21-15. But if, again, you go with what this second set has delivered, this next point will belong to Concordia. Carpenter. Muff on the setup. And Glenn on the finish. Been no consistency to MSOE in the second set. Falcons up 7. Shabaka beyond this service line. Well, the service errors continue to mount. Here's Kelvin Fellows. The mounting service errors have the Falcons at 9, MSOE at 11. Althoff again making sure MSOE is not able to score multiple points in a row. And the Falcons are 2 points away from evening this matchup up. Go figure. But also go figure MSOE's approach to this one, and from a lineup standpoint, get some of the younger players more playing time. Conference opener. Muff. Swant. Falcon serving for set number 2. Well, the Falcons take it 25-16. Guaranteed 2 more sets here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. We'll come back with set number 3 as we continue with Falcon men's volleyball on the Falcon Athletic Network.
The Student Personnel Administration in Higher Education, or SPAHI program at Concordia University is designed for people who want to work in the university setting in any department. So if you're interested in working in academic advising, campus activities, residence life, admissions, financial aid, this program is really designed for anyone interested in those areas. The mission of Concordia is to help students develop in mind, body, and spirit, and that was really evident in the program. I really enjoyed that I could be in class one night and take what I learned and apply it on the job the very next day. My name is Amber Schiesel, and I am a SPAHI graduate.
When did our measurement of success in life become so common? Because as unpopular as it might sound, God never intended for any of us to live a comfortable life. He intended for each of us to live each day with a higher purpose, to go outside our comfort zones and use our gifts and talents in the service of others. That's why He created each one of us uniquely, remarkably, to stand apart from the crowd, to live a life that's actually uncommon. Maybe that's why at Concordia University, our students have never been satisfied with simply fitting in and doing great things, but instead becoming great people. And why our education focuses on not only developing what you know, but who you are and who you were made to be. Passionate, faithful, courageous. Because living uncommon means living a you-first life in a me-first world, which isn't the easiest way. But at Concordia, it's the only way. After all, doesn't the world already have enough common? Concordia University. Live uncommon.
After 6 ties and 4 lead changes in set number 2, the Falcons up with a set 2 victory, 24, make it 25-16. 25-16 to even things up at 1 set apiece. Falcons and MSOE ready to open up NAC men's volleyball play. And right now, Falcons hitting .314 for the matchup. MSOE at .268. Some of the highlights from the second set. MSOE with 3 killed for Jake Christensen, 3 for Luke Carpenter, 2 for Austin Bella, 2 for Josh Kleinschmidt, 2 for Nathan Mason. They've gone with 2 different setters. Lucas Miller had 9 assists in the first set. Kelvin Fellows had 5 assists in set number 2. MSOE had 2 services that second set. Right now, blocks are still at 2-1. In favor of MSOE. For the Falcons, 5 kills for James Altoff, 4 for Isaac Glenn. Sam Rovick with 3, Blake Smott with 3, 12 assists for Connor Muff. And 7 digs for James Altoff. With 1 block, Blake Smott, Isaac Glenn. Altoff getting this third set started, a big one, as the Falcons have beaten MSOE in a set for the first time in 8 tries going back to last year. Josh Kleinschmidt out of bounds. And look who's out there. Quinn Krisick, our player to watch. His first appearance. That for the All-American from a couple of years ago. Falcons up 2-0. Right now trying to feed off that second set momentum. James Altoff, the Falcon 4th service ace. He comes through with his 3rd. Muff out of the back row. Tough setup there for Ben Pung, also into the matchup. He comes in at 3.09 kills per set, 4th in the conference in total kills. But the Falcons come out of the gates and lead 3-0. So the Raiders going back with some of their heavy hitters that have not played all match are now making an appearance here in set number 3. Jacob Bentz out there. He right now in the role of setter. Krisick, not to be. 4-0 Falcons. Trying to keep it on here in set number 3. Althoff. Fiore on the setup. Muff. Althoff to the back row. Jacob Bentz. Krisick. Fiore on the dig. Althoff. Muff. Onto the back row with drag out there. Kleinschmidt. MSUE on the board. So Jacob Bentz handling the setting responsibility. Saw some time last year, the primary setter. Made his collegiate debut on this very floor last February 9th. Drag out there along with Quinn Krisick. Came into the year second in school history and assists with 2,987. Fourth with 111 services. Fifth with 602 digs. Eighth with 140 blocks. Kleinschmidt. Forget it. Out of bounds to the Falcons. Concordia leads 5-2. Isaac Glenn will drop back. He had 3 services against St. John Fisher. Matchup for the Falcons back on the 25th last month from Hiram, Ohio. Bentz. Krisick. Getting involved in the offense right now. Quinn Krisick, about 1.7 kills per set. Kleinschmidt. Raiders back to within 2 at 5-3. So we got 2 of the regulars now playing for the first time all night here in this third set, the important third set. The ups there, the wingspan of Quinn Krisick coming into play. He has had 2 or more blocks, 4 times to the high of 4. Kleinschmidt. Althoff over the block and off the hands of Jacob Bentz. Bentz did not play the last 2 matches. Hayes back in. Concordia leads 6-4. All of a sudden it's Matt John here in Mequon. Set 1, MSUE's control. Set 2, Falcon control. Ben Pung able to get the side out. Look, Ben Pung, he played 1 set, came through with 3 kills against Culver, Stockton, and Canton, Missouri on January 27th. Out of bounds. All thanks to Shabaka in front, who put the ball on the MSUE side of the net. Falcons lead 7-5. Counter Muff. The product from West Tulsa Central. Bentz. Big windup there for Krisick. He'll serve 3 or 4 services 5 times this season. Second of the conference, 24th in the nation in service aces. Out of bounds. You can see how effective he can be. Not only does that ball have some zip on it, but not much flight. More of a line drive type serve. Krisick now looking for an assist. He'll get it off the Ben Pung kill. That's a nice 1-2 combo. Now Pung serving. He had 7 services against Mount St. Joseph, 8 service errors. The 7 services, though, tied for 5th. 5th in program history. Think about that. For Concordia, ball in the hands of Shabaka. Krisick over Kleinschmidt. Going out of play. Then off of Sam Rovek. Fiore to rotate back in, taking the spot of Shabaka. Luke Carpenter. MSOE back to within 1 following a quick Falcon start here in set 3. Scored the first 4. Service error puts the Falcons back up a couple. And one of the big issues for MSOE in that last set, trying to score multiple points in a row. Could not do it down the stretch. Althoff. Krisick. Big right hand. Yeah, Jacob Bentz, now part of the attack. Krisick handling the setting responsibilities. Pung dug out by Althoff. And before Althoff could get the setup, a double hit against Concordia. Jacob Bentz. Muff. Glenn. The advantage of being a lefty, trying to deliver that cross-court shot. There's the block, blocking Jacob Bentz. We've had Kleinsman on that far side. Either way, a block for Concordia. 11-9 lead. There's Bentz. That's Kleinschmidt. Sent back by Swant. Muff. And some miscommunication there between Muff and Glenn. Swant in the area as well, and it's going to be a point here for the Raiders, who are back to within 1 at 11-10. Josh Kleinschmidt. Delivering a service ace. That's number 10 now for the Raiders. And Kleinschmidt coming through with his second. 11-all. Match even at 1 set apiece. Muff. That's Rovek. And Sam Rovek out of bounds. So after being down by 4 to start, MSOE has battled back to lead by 1. Kleinschmidt. That was played by Althoff. Muff comes over. Sets up Rovek on the dive by Drag. Bentz coming to the near side, and it is Quinn Krisick who delivers the points. Besides being an All-American, besides being the Midwest Collegiate Volleyball League Offensive Player of the Year the last time he played back in 2017, he was first-team All-Conference in 2016. He was the Conference Rookie of the Year, first-team All-Conference, and second-team All-American as a freshman. And he took a year off. Welcome back. As mentioned, he has picked up where he left off, and he will leave as one of the all-time greats in MSOE men's volleyball history. Timeout for Coach Matsit. Raiders, they have scored 14 last 21 to now lead 14-11. Match even at 1 set apiece. MSOE taking the first set 25-14. Falcons bounce back to take set number 2, 25-16. Here in this third set, Raiders hitting 0-56. At one point, that is increasing as we go along. Falcons, they were at 200 at one point. I'll take a look at the latest AVCA national rankings that came out the other day. As far as the NAC goes, Dominican ranked number 5. Benedictine number 9. MSOE ranked 13 after they came into the year receiving votes. Springfield, last year's national champs, are number 1. Carthage number 2. North Central number 8. Lancaster Bible program MSOE played earlier this season. They're now ranked 12th. Cal Lutheran, that's a squad that is right now ranked 14th. They just fell to Benedictine 3-0 on Sunday. UC Santa Cruz now tied for 15th. A team the MSOE knocked off back on January 18th. Out of the timeout, Josh Kleinschmidt. So the Falcons out of the timeout get back to within 2. Look at Ryan Hapes. Muff on the near side, the kill, Rovek. He has 13 kills in a matchup this season. And Sam Rovek delivering his 4th kill. That's tied for his 2nd on the team right now. Beyond the 7 for Althoff. Long run for Bentz. Krisick. Front row ready, and Falcons rally to tie things up at 14. Nice response out of the timeout. Hafes. Bentz. Pung. Raiders back up 15-14. And now Matthew Binkus, a freshman from Bolingbrook, Illinois. He's playing his 3rd match, 3rd set. Also played against Culver Stockton, before that against Marymount out of Virginia. He sent that one to the moon and back. To infinity and beyond. If it wasn't for the curtain, that ball would have been long gone. Tied at 15. That is a big 15th service here. Quinn Krisick. Raiders up 16-15. Man, is that a vicious serve. Glenn over the block. Set up by Bentz. Off the left hand of Pung. Muff to Rovek. Drag able to lay out. Bentz. Krisick. 2-point MSOE lead. And seeing a healthy dose of Quinn Krisick. He immediately, in his first set, has jumped up to the team lead with 4 kills, a couple of assists, a dig, and a block. He's contributed 5 points already. Krisick typically hits about .333, 4th in the conference, 18-15 MSOE. Krisick. 16th MSOE service here. They doubled the Falcons in that category. Falcons within 2. Sam Rovek. Blocks right now are at 3.5 to 3 in favor of Concordia. Ben Pung. Muff. Well, as he went airborne, as did Luke Carpenter, and Carpenter scores the point. Ben Pung. Muff. Althoff. Throw back that direction. He's been at 7 kills for a while now. Krisick out of bounds. That will be his 4th attacking error. His 5 kills right now, 2nd most in this match. Shabaka back in. Falcons down 3. Falcons down 2. Continuing to find ways to fight. After they were in the driver's seat to start, MSOE was able to settle down and find some rhythm. Again, going with a different looking lineup from what we've seen in the first 2 sets. But a different lineup each set so far. Krisick on over with Kleinschmidt. For the Raiders, Luke Carpenter. MSOE's had to work every matchup they've been involved in so far this season. They've only had 1 3-setter. They lost. They got swept at one point to Lancaster Bible. They're 2-0 in 4 setters. They've gone the distance 3 times. They've gone 2-1 in 5 setters. Having to work for this one, but benefiting from a service error. Altoff on that jump serve. Jacob Bentz gives the point right back. You take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. And now the serve here for the Falcons, Isaac Glenn. Trading off service errors. Bentz. And before he gets set it up, net violation here against MSOE. Falcons within 1. 22-21. Here's Isaac Glenn. Most competitive set we've seen so far after, again, MSOE was in control in set 1. Falcons in control in set 2. Bentz giving away to Krisick, who finds Kleinschmidt. Block was ready. Krisick, Kleinschmidt. That far back corner wide open. Opportunity there, but MSOE up 2. Kleinschmidt. Rovic off the block. That was set up by Krisick and Binkus. And now your serve specialist, Ryan Hafes, back in. Bentz. That was Pung. Altoff. MSOE is serving for set number 3. Blake Swant back in. The serve here for Matthew Binkus. Rovic. Binkus. And blocked that time was Krisick, and the Falcons stay within 1. Here's Connor Muff. Can the Falcons get over the hump here late? Bentz. And the kill for Luke Carpenter. MSOE goes up 2 sets to 1. They take the third set, 25-23. Must win now for the Falcons. We go on to set number 4. Conference opener. And you're tuning in to men's volleyball. Live from the John Book Fieldhouse in Mequon on the Falcon Athletic Network. To set number 4 we go. Falcons now in a must-win situation. MSOE taking sets 1 and 3, 25-14, 25-23. Falcons took the second set, 25-16. We've seen 13 ties and 6 lead changes so far through the first 3 sets. 3 ties and a lead change in that third set if the Falcons jumped in front 4-0. But what a difference. What a difference when MSOE has the services. Quinn Krisick, Ben Pung into the lineup. MSOE, they have played a number of players already. They have played upwards of 16 now, led by the 6 kills for Josh Kleinschmidt, hitting 0.59. 5 kills for Quinn Krisick, 5 for Luke Carpenter, able to end that third set. There have been 10 assists now for Jacob Bent, the third different, well, if you include Krisick, who handled some of the setting responsibilities. We've seen 3 to 4 setters now in the first 3 sets for MSOE. They've come through with 11 service aces, led by 3 for Jay Christensen, 2 for Josh Kleinschmidt, 2 for Jacob Cerny. Right now, 6 digs for Daniel Drag, and 3 total blocks. For the Falcons, they have played 8. They've been led by 7 kills for James Altoff, hitting .417. 5 kills for Sam Rovick and 4 for Isaac Glenn. Connor Muff has 17 assists. 3 of the 4 services belong to James Altoff. 11 digs for James Altoff. He's working on a double-double. But 10-plus digs for James Altoff for the 3rd time. But again, he's working on his 3rd double-double. And then 3.5 blocks with 2 block assists for both Isaac Glenn and Blake Swans. MSOE looking to improve to 3-0 in 4 setters. Falcons trying to force their 2nd 5th set match of the year. They lost in 5 to St. John Fisher on January 25th. Glad to be along on this Wednesday inside the John Book Fieldhouse. Men's volleyball on the Falcon Athletic Network. Back-to-back nights of Falcon Raider action after women's basketball last night would see a victory for the Falcon women. And the way things start here in this 4th set, a service error. 19 of those now against MSOE. 11 aces as well. Krisick, big windup. That involving Jake Christensen, who's out there. Jake Christensen, he is back in the lineup and he is playing for only the 2nd set. He's serving. Saw him back in set 1, and he delivers a service error. That's 20 service errors and counting against MSOE. They came in, though, with 132 in their first 6 matches. Boy, do the quick math, and you're looking at about 22 a match. 22 free points off serves. Nice job by Ben Pung in front. He had 3 total blocks at Quincy. MSOE, a program that plays a number of D1, D2 programs outside of their usual D3 and conference competition. Swant squeaks it through. Ben Pung and Luke Carpenter. Falcons lead 3-2 into the matchup. Ryan Hapes. Raiders up 2 sets to 1. Hanging tough with the 13th ranked team in the nation. MSOE is 2-0 all time here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. Besides beating the Falcons last year, they came here and played a non-conference matchup against then ranked 4th in the nation Kane. I should say they're 1-1. They lost to Kane 3 sets to 1 last February the 13th. Now back here for the 3rd time and lost their first set all time against Concordia back in set 2. Falcons lead 4-3. That's Rovick. Sam Rovick now with 6 kills. Falcons in about 2:03 now for the matchup, and they commit their 11th error. Here's Ben Pung from Loveland, Ohio, among 9 freshmen on the active MSOE roster, a roster that graduated 2 out of their 3 all-conference performers. Altoff, right there ready. He had Krisick, but contact with the net. Concordia 6, MSOE 4. Rovick He's contributed 10-plus points 3 times this season. He's contributed 5.5 so far in this one. Althoff has contributed 10 to the attack. Josh Kleinschmidt leads the way for MSOE with 8. Luke Carpenter. Falcons maintain a 2-point lead. Blake Swant back in. Out goes Turner Fiore. Cody Shabaka. We've seen some nice starts for the Falcons in these sets, but now it's a matter of continuing here from start to finish. So that last set, set 2, able to pretty much control from start to finish. Pulled away about midway through. Back up 2. James Althoff. Out of Kenosha Tremper, second team All-State, honorable mention All-State, Conference Player of the Year, 2-time All-Conference performer for the Tremper Trojans. Almost a kick save and a beauty, but it's going to be a service ace. Althoff, his 4th service ace of the match. It forces MSOE to take a timeout. His previous high for service aces in the match was 3. He had 4 in this one. That go along with 9 kills, 12 digs, 13 points for James Althoff in this Falcon attack. Concordia leads 9-6. We are in set number 4. After this, Falcons will be on the road, and we'll play again coming up. That on Friday. Note the start time, 5 p.m. Set 1 of the best of 5 down at River Forest against Dominican. Last year, Falcons 0-2 against the Stars. They met on March 21st in River Forest. Dominican was number 6 at the time. It was a 3-set sweep for the Stars, and then 2 teams met again on the 28th a week later. Here, Dominican was the 7th seed at the time, and that was a 3-set sweep. And then back here again on the 15th of February against Concordia Chicago. Their inaugural season, 7 p.m. 3 home matchups that weekend with 2 on Saturday against Benedictine and Fontbonne in non-conference play. James Althoff. Blocked the flex out after the windup by Jake Christensen. Here's Christensen. Raiders within 2 following the timeout. Long run, but played by Glenn after Muff made an attempt. Muff. Swant. Batted down by Quint Krisick. Isaac Glenn with the Falcons up by 3. Isaac Glenn, who in a sophomore year, also with a coaching background in volleyball. There's a finish for Nathan Mason. Mason, who in high school volleyball, football, cross country, and wrestling athlete. Brian Jones, Muff, and Althoff. Played there by Krisick and Jones, Fiore, Muff, Sam Rovek. But Nathan Mason on the rejection. And MSOE is back to within 1. Jones. Off the top tape, it deflects on the Falcons side of the netting for the service ace. Brian Jones with his second service ace, and the team's 12 collectively. Remember, MSU had 14 when they faced the Falcons here last year. 14 services last year on February 9th. But again, that's a much different. That's your 2018 Falcon versus 2019. This is not your brother's Falcon volleyball squad. Ryan Hafes. Big windup. Ben Pong, not to be. As mentioned, there have been some turnovers, but this Falcon team has made some great strides from one year to the next, and this season has just started. That time with Luke Carpenter. Pong. Violation here against Concordia. MSOE will bring Nathan Mason. On back to serve, Blake Swant. Subs in to sub out to be replaced by Turner Fiore. Muff. The pinball effect there with the windup by Sam Rovek. 12-12 the score. Must win here for the Falcons in set 4. After MSOE, a hard-earned set 3 victory, 25-23. Went the first 2 sets without playing their setter, Quinn Krisick, and or Ben Pong. That's changed. Muff. Rovek. In front, Krisick. Able to adjust. Falcons had Rovek, Shabaka in front. Now Nathan Mason. That goes beyond the end line. Not by much. Back to even at 13. There have been at least 15 ties in this match. 4 in the first set, 6 in the second, 3 in the third. Trading blows here in set 4. Jones. I'll make that Nathan Mason. Nathan Mason. Around the MSOE point. Ben Pong. Still can't fathom that he had 7 services in a matchup, and that's tied for 5th in program history. James Altoff with an attacking error. He is a kill away from his 3rd double-double of the year. Pong. That's off a fixture in the rafter. It stayed on the Falcon side, so it's a live ball. Tough break. And a timeout for Coach Matson. MSOH want to put the finishing touches on this 4th set. Now with a 16-13 lead. Mentioned the road ahead for the Falcons. MSOE, they will have 3 straight at home coming up beginning Friday against Illinois Tech. Saturday against both Aurora and UC Santa Cruz for the 2nd time. And then a big one coming up on Friday, February 15th at Dominican at 7 p.m. These 2 teams will meet again at MSOE, and that will come your way Wednesday, March 27th at 7 p.m. For now, the Falcon focus is trying to get right back into this set and force a winner takes all. 9 kills for James Altoff, hitting .263. 4 service aces with 12 digs. 13 points. MSOE, 6 kills for Josh Kleinschmidt and 6 for Quinn Krisick. Also has 9 assists, a service ace, 2 digs, 2 total blocks. Out of the timeout, Ben Pong. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Another out-of-bounds serve. They're above their average. Now with 24 service errors. That's near that's going to have to improve as the competition continues to get better and better. We start face another ranked team. You can't afford to be giving up 24, 25 points on the serve. They know that. All Fiore can do is bat down the return by Nathan Mason. Brian Jones, well, he subs in. They've changed the call. And apparently have called the illegal hit versus MSOE. Jones goes back out. Falcons are back to within 1. So a change call, and the Falcons with an opportunity to tie things up. Glenn. Krisick. And now Brian Jones rotates back in. 17-15 MSOE. Both teams looking for victory, 5 on the young season. Both looking for a 1-0 start here in conference play. Falcons last year went 0-12 in the conference, swept 12 times. Well, besides getting their first set victory against MSOE all time, they get their first set victory all time in conference play. Happened back in set 2. 17-16 MSOE. Shabaka. Service saves off the hands of Daniel Drag. 17-17. Shabaka, the Falcons' 6th service ace. Cody with his first. Krisick on the return. Threw everybody a curveball. The setter with the kill. And now Krisick serving. MSOE 18, Falcons 17. Been a good one tonight. Things have picked up since first couple of sets. Good battle here in this conference opener. No one else in action tonight in men's volleyball. Nothing on the docket again until Friday. Out of bounds. Falcons go up 19-18. Althoff. Krisick. Able to set up Christensen. Tied at 19. Number of lead changes and ties continue to grow. Jake Christensen. Splits a pair, goes out of bounds. Falcon to the first to 20. I'm telling you, those errors are going to come back to bite MSOE, and that now makes a total of 27. They have as many digs as they have service errors. Muff. Muff again. A little more pop in his return. Krisick. Finding Pong. Block goes out. Tied at 20. Who wants it? Carpenter back in for the Raiders. Brian Jones. The great race to 5. Althoff. Off the block in front, the scramble. Pong, Althoff on the dig. Some miscommunication with Glenn able to adjust, but he goes out of bounds. And the Raiders go up 21-20. So on some miscommunication, late break for the ball. Brian Jones. Muff. Rolvik reaching back with an attacking error, and MSOE goes up 22-20. And Coach Matson will take his final timeout here in set 4. As MSOE 3 points away from a set and match victory. And Falcons have Dominican coming up on Friday, MSOE, Illinois Tech. Things pick up on Friday in the conference with Benedictine at Carthage. Intriguing matchup there between the number 2 and number 9 ranked teams in the nation. Aurora will be at Lakeland. Concordia, Chicago at Marion in the North Park. They will be at Dominican as well. They play after the Falcons are done battling the Dominican Stars. But how about the effort? I mean, a year ago, this was a sweep, and it was quick. It was under an hour. But the Falcons, good battle, good fight, hitting 158, MSU hitting 255. They've had 27 service errors with 13 service aces. One shy of what they were able to accomplish here last year. Falcons with 7 aces, 13 errors. 6 blocks for MSU, 4.5 for the Falcons. Quinn Krissick in 2 sets, 8 kills, 11 assists, an ace, 3 digs, 2 blocks, 10.5 points. Jake Christensen with 9 points. Josh Kleinschmidt with 8. James Althoff has 9 kills for the Falcons with his 14 digs, followed by 6 kills for Sam Rovek. Brian Jones out of the timeout. Muff. Swat. Blake Swat brings the Falcons to within 1. Ryan Hafes will sub in. The freshman, Pung. Here's Muff with the left hand. Althoff with his 10th kill, a double-double. His 3rd double-double of the year comes off that kill. It ties this matchup at 22. Set 4 tied at 22. Krissick. Pung puts MSOE back up 1. And now Nathan Mason to the Falcons. Had Blake Swat in just to sub right back out, being replaced by the libero Turner Fiore. Mason's out of bounds. 23-23. Counter Muff. Krissick. Pung. MSOE serving for the set and the match. MSOE trying to avoid a 28th service error. Ben Pung. Muff. Althoff. On the windup, Shabaka ties this 4th set at 24. Not done yet. Sam Rovek. Krissick. On the cross-court shot, Jake Christensen. His 7th kill, and again MSU serving for the set and the match. This time Luke Carpenter. Jacob Bent about to sub in for the first time in this set. He played in set number 3, and he'll serve. The product from Oswego, Illinois. Muff. Shabaka. Again able to tie this setup. This time at 25. Blake Swat back in, replacing Fiore. And now Shabaka on the serve. Been 2 opportunities for MSU to end it. Another cross-court shot for Christensen. Shabaka runs it down. Returned by Muff, but out of bounds. And MSU open the 3rd time the charm and ending this set and match. With the ball in the hands of Quinn Krissick. But they commit their 29th service error. Tied at 26. Althoff. Krissick. Christensen. Block was ready. Christensen. And it's Mason. Muff. Glenn. And for the first time, the Falcons will have an opportunity to end this fourth set. Up 27-26. After MSU had 3 opportunities to end it. Falcons trying to force a fifth set, which will be played to 15. Althoff. Falcons have forced a winner-takes-all fifth set. 28-26. A back-and-forth fourth set. MSOE had 3 opportunities to end it. Falcons only needed 1 opportunity, and we go to a winner-takes-all, set 5 up to 15. That fifth set comes away next. We continue with Falcon men's volleyball on the Falcon Athletic Network.
You have 33 years of memories in this house. The most valuable things you will ever own. And that is why we exist.
Winner takes all fifth set coming up here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. MSOE 2-1 in 5 setters. Falcons 0-1. It's the great race to 15. That fourth set, 14 ties, 4 lead changes. MSOE had 3 serves at ending the set. Falcons needed 1 opportunity, and they cashed in. Cody Shabaka able to tie things up on a couple of occasions late, and the Falcons taking that back and forth set 4, 28-26. MSOE hitting 267, Falcons 176. 6 blocks for the Raiders, 4.5 for the Falcons. Quinn Krisick, 8 kills, 14 assists, 1 service ace, 3 digs, couple of blocks. Ben Pong, 8 kills, hitting 438. A service ace, 3 digs, a block. And then Jake Christensen has 7 kills. Josh Kleinschmidt with 6 for the Falcons. James Althoff with his 3rd double-double of the year. 10 kills, hitting 273. 2 assists, 6 service aces, 15 digs. He's contributed 16 points. Sam Rovick has 6 kills, 6 for Blake Swant, 25 assists for Connor Muff. There have been 29 service errors against MSOE. Falcons ready to go. You see their lineup of Connor Muff, Blake Swant, Sam Rovick, James Althoff, Cody Shabaka out there. Turner Fiore about to rotate in. MSOE will bring Austin Bella, Quinn Krisick, Brian Jones, Danny Martin, the libero, playing for the first time since the first set. Jake Christensen out there as well, along with Jacob Cerny. So this is the regular, typical MSOE lineup that's about to take the floor for set 5. We've seen every one of these guys at various points throughout the night. Now all on the floor at once. MSOE beat UC Santa Cruz in 5, beat Mount St. Joseph in 5, lost in 5 at Quincy. Falcons lost in 5 against St. John Fisher, January 25th. Muff to Swant. Krisick. The block of Austin Bella. Falcons are 5.5 blocks. There have been 11.5 blocks so far in this match. Long run there. Pung. Krisick. Muff. Oh, some trickery there by Connor Muff. And a 2-0 Falcon lead. Concordia again with some quick starts. here in this matchup. No different here in this fifth set. Krisick able to swat it back for the Jones return. Here's Glenn through the block. Sent back, set up by Bella. Krisick, Muff, Althoff, Glenn off the block. Dug out by Krisick. Martin's going to the far side. Blocked that time was Pung. Martin's on the near side for Bella. Backed up by Althoff. Muff out of the back row. That was Rolvik. That's Jake Christensen. Althoff denied. He had both Bella and Jones going airborne. Ben Pung. '30th MSOE service error. Falcons up 3-1. Can't honestly say I've ever seen 30 service errors in a matchup until tonight. Krisick. Fior, long run. Muff, able to adjust. Fior's got to make the return. Krisick. Oh, the kill for Austin Bella. Falcons up 3-2. Back in for the Raiders, Jacob Cerny. Brian Jones. Falcons are ready for the windup by Cerny. Muff to Althoff. Big gap between the front and back rows. Althoff continues his stellar play. Ryan Hafes back in. 11 kills now for Althoff, adding to his double-double. Mentioned the 17 digs. That matches his high. Muff with Rolvik and now Krisick. And Christensen off a Falcon. Concordia 4, Raiders 3. Blake Swant again rotates in just to rotate back out. That for the libero Turner Fior. Austin Bella. Muff. Rolvik. Sam Rolvik on the kill, and the Falcons now lead 5-3. Picking a great moment to deliver yet again. He now has 7 kills, second best on the team, hitting just in the positive, and now a service ace. Connor Muff, 9th Falcon service ace. His first along with 3 errors. 6-3 Falcons. Long run. Krisick combining there with Bella. Those two combined, things go awry, and the Falcons lead 7-3. Looking to pull off a conference opening upset here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. First a timeout for the Raiders. MSOE ranked 13th in the nation. They came into the season receiving votes. Ranked 14th last week. Moved up to 13th this week. They have never cracked the top 10. They've been ranked numerous times throughout their history, but right now their backs against the wall here against the Falcons. Spirited effort here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. Falcons hitting 181, MSOE at 241. Number of players getting involved. James Althoff, Sam Rolvik. Rolvik with 7 kills, 7 digs, 1 block. Blake Swant with 6 kills. Isaac Glenn had 5. Connor Muff and Cody Shabaka, each with 3 kills apiece. Muff with 27 assists. Falcons getting ready to go. Connor Muff will serve. Falcons up 7-3, taking sets 2 and 4. MSOE with a impressive start to this matchup, too. They won set one in convincing fashion, 25-14. Trying to set the tone. Out of bounds goes Jake Christensen. Both teams will flip-flop sides. Falcons more than halfway to a set 5 and match victory. Concordia will keep Shabaka, Rovik, Althoff in the front. Fior in that back row with Muff, with Glenn. Muff on the jump serve with a deflection off the top tape. That's the 14th service error against the Falcons. That's a number we've been keeping tabs on because there have been a number, more so for MSOE. We've got 30. Jake Christensen. Muff. Althoff. That goes out. Back to back for the Raiders. They're back to within 3. For Coach Matson, these last 7 points going to feel like forever to get if they're to come the Falcon direction. But lo and behold, the service error again comes back into play. Falcons have benefited 31 points off miscues on the MSOE serve tonight. 31. Uncanny. Getting the point right back. Jacob Cerny at 6'6", still climbing up the ladder. Delivering a thunderous blow. 9-6 Falcons. Cerny. Fior. That's Quinn Krisick. Falcon lead has dwindled down to 2. Cerny. Althoff. MSOE didn't see it. Pong and Jones looking around. Could not find it. Until that ball was bouncing off the floor. Shabaka. That's a great placement by Krisick on back to Ben Pong. Knocked it away from the net. More room to maneuver. Quinn Krisick. Muff finds Blake Swan, who's denied by Brian Jones. Timeout Falcons. Leads down to 1. To 15 we go, set 5. MSOE took the first set 25-14. Falcons bounced back, took set 2 25-16. MSOE won set 3 25-23. And the Falcons won a 4th set that featured 14 ties and 4 lead changes, 28-26. And now after a quick start to this 5th set for Concordia, lead down to 1 at 10-9. Momentum with MSOE. So set 5 here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. Glad you belong on the Falcon Athletic Network. We were talking about how Danny Martins is the off-the-block online publication, D3 preseason All-American team honoree. Offtheblockblog.com calling this the Division III National Match of the Day. That's heading now to a decisive 5th set. This isn't a decisive 5th set with the Falcons up 10-9. As Concordia tries to pull off an upset in this conference opener. Quinn Krisick. Muff. Althoff. That's one way to answer out of the timeout. James Althoff On back Fiore. Muff. Glenn, the lefty, going cross court, and he stays in bounds. Lead back to 3. MSOE now will talk it over. So out of the timeout, the Falcons back-to-back points. They go up 12-9, 3 away from an upset here in Mequon. What a night for the Falcons. Finding ways right now to get it done. James Altoff, a big reason why. Well-rounded, heck of an effort. He's come through with at least 13 kills. Updated with a .259 hitting percentage. Couple of assists, 6 service aces. His previous high was 3. 17 digs to tie his high. He has contributed 19 points. And then great contributions from Sam Rovick, Blake Swant, Isaac Glenn. Of course, Connor Muff directing the attack. Cody Shabaka, Turner Fiore, and then a serve specialist in Ryan Hapes. MSOE has played upwards of 16. They've been led by Quinn Krisick and Ben Pung's 9 kills, each playing their third set of the night. 8 kills for Jake Christensen. Altoff. Falcons have the last timeout remaining. Just did carry out. Ben Pung. Muff. Swat! Isaac Glenn. And the kill for Jake Christensen. Back in for MSOE is Jacob Cerny. Here's Brian Jones. Swant. Go figure. Falcons are serving for the set and the match. I think many thought this might be a sweep for MSOE. Maybe the Falcons could get one set. Now they're on the verge of an upset here in Mequon, and what a program win this would be, the biggest in the short history of the Falcons. Off the return by Muff. Muff. Altoff. Falcons take it! An upset special here inside the John Book Fieldhouse as the Falcons knock off the 13th ranked MSOE Raiders 3-2. Taking the decisive 5th set 15-11. And the Falcons win their first ever NAC conference matchup in 13 tries, winning 14-25, 25-16, 23-25, 28-26, and 15-11 as the Falcons up their record to 5-2. 4-0 here inside the John Book Fieldhouse. The team has now won 3 of its last 4 as they get ready to take on Dominican on the road 5 p.m. on Friday. MSOE to 4-3, 0-1 in the conference, 1-2 in true road matchups. They've now lost 3 of 4, but this will be an eye-opening result around the conference. What a way to open up conference play, an upset special as the Falcons take down the 13th ranked MSOE Raiders in 5.